The Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 4th place in the Central Division. They have played in 6 games this season and have a record of 3-3. Those 6 points have the Nashville Predators 4 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche. The Preds on home ice have a record of 2-1. That's where their next game will take place against the Vancouver Canucks. The Preds have also scored 18 goals and given up 16 against. Before we preview the Canucks, let's talk about where the Central Division is at this exact moment. The Colorado Avalanche are in first place with a 5-0 record. They have 10 points, 21 goals for, and only 8 goals given up on the season. Dallas Stars are in second place with 7 points. The Arizona Coyotes are in third place with 6 points. Then you'll find the Nashville Predators also with 6 points. The St. Louis Blues have 5. The Minnesota Wild have 5. Winnipeg and Chicago round out the Central Division standings with 4 points apiece. So the Nashville Predators find themselves 4 points out of first place, but only 2 points ahead of the last place team in the division. Now, I mentioned the Nashville Predators have the Vancouver Canucks coming up. Once the Vancouver Canucks game passes, Saturday, the Nashville Predators will welcome in the Toronto Maple Leafs, so a couple of days off between these games. And then Tuesday, it is against these same Vancouver Canucks in Vancouver, the beginning of a long road trip, the CMA road trip as we call it. And then it is on the 2nd of November at Seattle, the 4th of November at Edmonton, and the 7th of November at Calgary. For the Preds and the Vancouver Canucks, it's the first of 3 regular season meetings. They will meet again on Halloween in Vancouver, and I can't imagine crazy things aren't going to happen in that game. 12-19 will be the final regular season meeting between these two teams. Vancouver will be back here in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. Now, I've mentioned the Canucks a couple of times, so let's talk about those Vancouver Canucks. You may not have noticed, but they're off to a very good start. 3-2 on the season. They have 6 points. They are second overall in the Pacific Division, just behind the undefeated Vegas Golden Knights. On the road, 2-2 so far, a +7 goal differential. Since they've only played in 5 games, let's go back and review, well, their entire season. On October the 11th, they opened up the season with an 8-1 win versus the Edmonton Oilers. On the 14th of October, it was a 4-3 win at Edmonton, so back-to-back wins over the Oilers to start the season. On the 17th of October, a 2-0 loss at Philadelphia, and then on the 19th of October, a 4-3 loss at Tampa Bay. Following that up most recently on the 21st of October, a 5-3 win at Florida. Now, between these two teams, the NHL rankings, goals for the Nashville Predators scoring 3 goals per game. That's 18th best in the NHL, while the Vancouver Canucks early in the season are scoring 4 goals per game. That is 6th best in the league, 20 overall goals so far through 5 games. Goals against average, Nashville Predators at 2.67 are 12th overall in the NHL, while the Vancouver Canucks, giving up 2.60 per game, are 11th. They've only given up 13 goals in total. In the shots for category, the Nashville Predators have been simply dominant through 6 games so far in the season. 34.5 shots on goal per game. That is 3rd best in the entirety of the NHL. In the shots for category for Vancouver, with as many goals as they're scoring, they are not piling up the shots, so their shooting percentage is incredibly high at this point. Their shots for per game on the season, 26.8. That is 28th in the league. And this was also surprising. The Vancouver Canucks that have only given up 13 goals in the season, but are giving up a ton of shots against 36.2. This particular matchup favors in the Nashville Predators' favor. That 36.2 is 29th against in the league, while the Nashville Predators are giving up 28.8 shots per game. That is 10th best in the NHL. When it comes to special teams, the power play for the Vancouver Canucks is off to a red-hot start. 6 of 16. That's 37.5% conversion rate, or 3rd best in the NHL. The Nashville Predators, 23.1% is 12th best in the league, 6 out of 26. On the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators are 30th in the NHL. 7 power play goals given up against already this season, a conversion rate of 66.7%, while Vancouver is 19th on the penalty kill, giving up 5 power play goals in the season, 75% kill rate for them. Individual statistics after the injury report for the Nashville Predators, we do have an update on that. Schenn listed as out 4 to 6 weeks on injured reserve, and Glass at this moment in time is just listed as out. The individual statistics for both of these teams, again, the Vancouver Canucks are off to a very, very good start. And the names I'm about to read off that are the top scorers already have been the top scorers for the last couple of seasons, but have also been very, very good against Nashville Predators. Regardless of record, there have been Vancouver Canucks players that have absolutely feasted against this Predators team. Pettersson, 2 goals and 8 assists already on the season for 10 points. Miller, 2 and 6 for 8. Bosser, 6 goals, 1 assist for 7 points. Hughes, 1 and 4 for 5 out there at the blue line. And and Kuzmenko 2-2 for 4. All of these players have had good success individually against the Nashville Predators in the past, so something to be cautious of. In net so far, it seems to be the Vancouver Canucks are going with the rotation. DeSmith is 2-0 with a .938 save percentage, 2.73 goals against average, and Thatcher Demko is 1-2 with a .930 save percentage, 2.57 goals against average. Reasonable numbers from both of those netminders. On the other side of the ledger for the Nashville Predators, Philip Forsberg continues to lead the team in scoring, 1 goal and 4 assists for 5 points. Tommy Novak now 4 goals, leads the Predators in goals. No assists to add to that, though. What a selfish player. Only 4 points on the season then. O'Reilly 2-2 for 4. Nyquist 1-3 for 4. And Barry, no goals, 4 assists. See, what a nice guy. 0 goals, 4 assists, 4 points. UC Saros 3-3 on the season. A .915 save percentage at 2.49 goals against average. 1 shutout, and he has started all 6 games so far this season, and there's no reason to believe he's not going to get the start against this early season surging Vancouver Canucks team. So the Nashville Predators have had 5 previous playoff teams from last season already, and then the San Jose Sharks, which were near the bottom. Now listen, the Vancouver Canucks did not finish at the most impressive part in the standings last year either, but they appear to be maturing, maybe at the right time, but there are some things in their game that it looks like could begin to slow them down a little bit. That shooting percentage for them is very high, and it's not going to remain that high throughout the season. Not to say they can't overcome that, but just something I noticed in the NHL rankings for these two teams. That's going to get you all set up for the Nashville Predators hosting the Vancouver Canucks at Bridgestone Arena. Make note, there is a special start time, not the customary 7 o'clock start time, just a little bit later, so make sure you make a note of that. But we'll be in the bunker breaking that game down. Speaking of breaking games down, we got to do that in the Reverb Sports full game recap. It is coming up next. You give us 10 minutes, we'll give you the entire game. We'll go back and recap, talk about everything that happened between the Nashville Predators and the San Jose Sharks on a Saturday night. There was a Gordie Howe hat trick in that game. We'll talk about it. It's coming up right next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey play.